The Bigfoot world and the invasion of the blob squatches. This is a very touchy subject that I've postponed a few times, not because it's controversial, although it is, but because I wanted to be clear about what I was going to say about it, because this is very important. First, we have to define it so we're clear. What is a blob squatch? A photo or video with the intention to prove the existence of Bigfoot. The subject will have a possibly humanoid shape, but has been deemed inconclusive due to blurriness or having the appearance of a blob. And it can be any photo that doesn't depict a Sasquatch in an obvious enough way that would eliminate any argument of its validity. And it's a real problem. There are way too many of them circulating. Skeptics claim the sheer numbers of them squelch any validity of the subject of Bigfoot. They're a jewel to the submitters, while they're considered an insult to other researchers. But the researchers and believers have bigger complaints. Blob squatch photos threaten to overshadow or completely detract from the good research that takes place every day. Anyone entering the Bigfoot community as a newcomer will be bombarded by these kind of photos and could possibly come to believe that this is the only type of evidence available for Bigfoot. And the worst thing, the most worrying to serious researchers, is that scientists entering this Bigfoot arena will also be bombarded with these types of photos and decide to steer clear of the subject entirely. So once again, science doesn't take this or the researchers who've done a lot of hard work seriously, and any progress in research is brought to a screeching halt. And finally, blob squatch photos are the #1 biggest cause of arguments in Bigfoot groups and forums. Now, I will admit there have been times when I've defended this practice to a certain degree, because there are some enthusiasts that I do believe have the best of intentions. But it's gotten out of hand, and I feel we all need to understand why this is happening and what we really need to do about it. And this isn't going to be simple. Some people just fake photos to get attention or possibly make money. This is more to address people with good intentions. Now, I kind of pride myself on being able to see both sides of the argument, and I'm going to be as diplomatic as possible. And you don't have to take my word for anything, but this is the reason I think this problem persists. First of all, anyone who's serious about Bigfoot wants to make a contribution to proving their existence, and some want very badly to be the one that finally submits the end-all argument's evidence for all to see. Second of all, I don't believe that the submitters of these photos necessarily have bad intentions. I don't think they mean to cause an argument. I don't even think they intend to undermine good, serious research. What I really think is that they don't see that they're posting a blob squatch photo, and they don't understand that what they have is inconclusive. But why is that? And why does all this frustration have to continue? The most profound question I hear every day that embodies almost every aspect of life, even outside of the paranormal, is why can't people just see what's really there rather than their perception of it? I know the answer. Are you ready for it? Really? Well, here it is. There is no such thing as what's really there. There is only our perception of it. I repeat. There is no such thing as what's really there. There is only our perception of it. There is no reality. There is only our personal view of what we're seeing. This isn't me talking. This is science, physics. An actual reality that we can all interpret in the exact same way does not exist. When all of us look at the same photo or video, none of us will have exactly the same perception of it. And because our perceptions come from a very personal place and things we've uniquely lived and experienced, we can't possibly have the exact same perceptions. So, for this reason, there is no way everyone will see a blurry photo in exactly the same way. Psychiatric professionals prove this every day with ink blot tests. People interpret the ink blots in many different ways, all contingent on their personal perceptions, hopes, dreams, deepest fears, and world views. And as you know, when interpreting the ink blots, there is no correct answer as to what those blots really are. The important thing is what people see when they look at them, and they'll all see something a little bit different. So I ask again, why don't submitters understand that they have a photo that's nothing more than a blob squatch? It's genuine to them because they were there. They saw what they saw and they snapped a picture of it. They were present in that moment. They smelled the smells, heard the sounds, and saw the surroundings. Their perceptions were hard at work creating a complete picture in detail. And why doesn't everyone look at it and see the exact same thing they saw when they snapped the photo? Because they can't possibly have the same perceptions. They weren't there. They didn't smell the smells or hear the sounds. They can't possibly see what the submitter saw just from a video or still frame. They can't possibly see the complete picture seen by the original submitter. So how do we resolve this? First of all, we have to understand perceptions and how they work. And we have to understand this before we present any photo of what we think is Bigfoot. And we have to understand that we're all human with varying human perceptions, and we're all capable of this error. And we have to understand that due to these varying perceptions, the photo has to be able to stand up to extreme scrutiny. It needs to be evaluated and examined by many others before it's ever presented to the public. And it needs to be seen by people from many different perspectives, not just people in your personal circle. You need many different eyes to see it first. And if they all agree it's good, then maybe, just maybe, you actually have something. But all other questionable photos need to be scrapped. And of course, I'm talking about this like it's easy. It's not. But understanding a problem is always the first step in solving a problem. Many argue that there's no photo or video that will ever be enough to prove Bigfoot exists. But we can all do a little bit better with the photos if we try. This is Doreen Fisher of the Crypto Crew around the campfire.